Jan Paul Rivera has a fight coming up in August. I think it's August 22nd on DAZN, and he's headlining that card. And I thought, you know, I don't think many of like my newer subscribers maybe don't know who he is. I certainly was not that familiar with him, but you guys have suggested I take a look at him, and I did. And I looked at his last fight that he had, and it was, you know, it was actually, I was very impressed by a lot of things that he did. So we're gonna take a look at that video, at his record, get to know him a little better, and see, you know, is he something that we should, you know, as far as the prospect goes, is he somebody we should be looking at, right? As the next great Puerto Rican superstar. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in and choosing this video for your information. And if you're also subscribed, thank you for this continued support. I really appreciate it. It has been an amazing, amazing run the last couple of weeks, like I keep saying. So please continue to like, subscribe, share this video. It helps immensely and greatly. Especially the likes, please, because that's what pushes out the algorithm to show to more people. Let's keep building this community. I really appreciate it. So Jan Paul Rivera, listen, Universal Promotions. It's the video we're gonna take a look at. They're hilarious. They're hilarious, hands down. Their commentating in Puerto Rico is hands down some of the funniest commentating. It's hilarious. But anyway, let's get to the video. All right, so this is Jan Paul's box rec. Now, I'm going to go all the way to the beginning because that's what we got to go to. So that's Jan Paul right there. You see he's got 12, 6, 0, nothing in there. Now, his pro amateur career, boxing amateur career, should I say, is not listed correctly on box rec on a lot of people. He's actually 130 some odd wins with like 16 losses. He has extensive championships in the amateurs. So he is very polished as far as that goes. So when they start guys like who have that sort of an upside, and I see they start them off with a 1-8 guy, a 1-4 guy, a 4-6 guy, a 1-1 guy, a 3-1 guy, and I see that it's March, April, June, August. I mean, these are fights that he clearly can whitewash anybody in, right? Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna get mad at the first two fights, but then you go into 4-6, 1-1, 3-1, 2-6, 18-26, 2-0. Now, finally, like in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights before they give him a 2-0 guy, right? Undefeated 2-0 guy. And I'm like, okay, this guy is a stellar amateur. None of these fights under here did anything for him at all. Maybe the 18-26 guy maybe gave him something different to look at. This Dominican right here, because mind you, he fought 3 Dominicans back to back. You know, so 2-0, 9-0, 8-0. So now he's starting to take people's O's, right? 8-0, 11-3, and 15-2. Now that 15-2 is gonna be probably his best opponent, right? And we're gonna take a look at his last one with Alexis Eduardo Molina, which actually was a fight where I was, you know, thoroughly impressed by. The thing about the Daniel Bailey fight is Daniel Bailey has been out for over a year. By the time he comes in to the fight, it'll be over a year. Whereas you see how active right now Jan Paul is being, right? Jan Paul right now is being very active, so he's very sharp. Daniel Bailey's coming off a layoff. I'm not sure that's what you want to do, but I don't know if they couldn't find an opponent. It's definitely on record on paper with his best opponent, and he's going to be headlining at this event in Orlando. So, you know, I'm not going to start hating too much on it because it's something that needs to have, you know, it's going to be a decent fight for him. So, you know, we're going to look forward to it. I'm going to try to watch that fight and see how it goes for him. So, but here's the fight where, and I'm going to move myself up here so I can control this better. So this fight right here in particular, I wasn't, in the beginning in the first round, I was like, wow, this guy is really slow, like starts off slow. I wasn't, you know, thoroughly impressed with how fast he's, you know, for a guy who's young and has all his amateur experience. And honestly, it's the first round, but I tend to look at things like that. But let me tell you something. Let's look at that first round. He picks up the pace. And when he picks it up, it's something to really look at, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, Jan Paul's in the black. He's a 126 fighter, but look how thick paws he is, right, for 126. I was like, wow, man, that guy right. Can he go down a weight division? Because I don't see going up. He looks like, you know, he can't go up too much more before being fat. You know what I'm saying? For the division. I could be wrong. You see what I'm saying? He's just looking at his opponent a lot in the first round. And, you know, and I get it. Listen, you're going to tell me, hey, that's just him calculating and getting to know the guy a little bit. I get that. But now I wrote it down. Hold on, so we can just go right straight to it. Let's go into the second round. Molina was actually winning this round. He was dictating the pace. He was doing a lot of good things in this round. As you see, he was working the jab. And then it's a little event right here that happens that then changes the trajectory of the fight. And Molina doesn't recover all that much from it. When I say recover, I mean not that he was hurt immensely, like right there. See that? Confidence. He fought bravely after that. And, he tried his best. But that's where the fight for me with Jan Paul started changing. I was like, oh, he was actually downloaded in the first round, right? So I got to give you what my thoughts were in the first round and how it changed into the second round, seeing what he did here. He was really looking at his opponent and seeing what he was doing, like actually looking, like not just being cautious for cautious sake. We have fighters that do that. They're just cautious for cautious sake. They're not really doing anything. They just, I'm going to fight the whole fight. Jan Paul Rivera was actually looking to see what he was going to do in this fight. And it translated. Just fast forward a little bit. It worked out well for him. See, he has a nice digging to the body. That's another thing he did very well in this fight. He was digging to that body, was committed to it, and his skill set just got sharper as the fight went on. His skill set just got sharper. It didn't wane. Now the Mexican was trying his darndest. The way he cuts off the ring doesn't let the Mexican kind of like dictate where he's going in that ring. And listen, at 126 pounds, there's a lot of competition there. Again, here he is, just watching, kind of down to the body. Down to the body. See, I like that. He dipped into that hook to the body. I like that. A lot of fighters don't do that. They kind of throw it from the hip. He ducked into it and made sure he landed it where he needed to land it. Again, see how he just did? Again, he's just, if there's an opening, like the jab, nice. I mean, he's just doing what he has to do. I was thoroughly impressed as the fight went on. I don't know too much about Molina other than in this fight, and I know from this fight, the kid got heart, and he is not a slouch per se, and he did come to try to win. He didn't come to lay down. There was no quit in this Mexican at all. At all. See, there goes Jan Paul. See, like he's, even in mid-punch, you can see that he thought that the punch wasn't going to land. He kind of like held it back and was like, hold on, I'm going to change the trajectory of this punch because I don't think it's going to land. Thinking on the fly. Oh, good overhand, right hand. I mean, look at, oh my God, this kid right here. I said I was thoroughly impressed. Now we're going to go to another round here. We're going to just jump. See, the kid's trying to hook with him, but Jan Paul is not letting him slide. He's just like, nah, we're not doing this. Here we go. Check this out. Works his jab to him. Bang! To the body. That work to the body. He never gave up on the body. He never gave up on a body attack. He kept working that angle. That kid, I mean, he's going to be pissing blood all day long. I mean, that body attack was that he sustained, And then Jan Paul, he tries to finish it, but he couldn't. The kid was crafty. He knew how to hold, when he was in trouble. Oh, yeah, I remember the announcer here said, ese mexicano jode más que un mosquito en un cuarto oscuro. Listen, that shit had me down. In Spanish is a lot funnier than it is in English. You see, like, he's trying, man. He's really trying, bro. But Jan Paul is just levels. He's just levels ahead. Had he gone back to the body, I think he would have got him out of there. I think he just wanted a headhunt because he felt that he was out of there. But again, signed by MVP, Amanda Serrano. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Do you think that he's going to be the next superstar, 126 for Puerto Rico? He looks very promising. He actually impressed me a whole lot. I'm glad you guys suggested him in the comments. Like I said, I'm learning along with you guys on the Puerto Rican side of boxing because it's been a long time since I've been into boxing. Like I said, my expertise really goes all through the 90s, early 2000s. Then I dropped out of boxing as a casual. And now in the last few years, I've been getting back into the groove, really rededicating my knowledge to the sport. I'm not a historian, so I'm not one of those guys, too much of a historian. I'm not like Showbiz or anybody else that has this deep, embedded knowledge of Teddy Atlas. But I love the sport just as much, and especially the Puerto Rican fighters. Puerto Rican, but I always call a spade when it is. It has to be. But anyway, let me know down below. What do you think? Do you think Jan Paul is going to be the next Puerto Rican star? Or do you think that he's just another flash in the pan? Or you think he's just going to be slightly above average or average fighter and maybe exposed later on in his career? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.